Alright, so today we are going to look at answer short question type, and let's get started. This is the short answer question type that tests listening and speaking skills. You have to respond to short question in one or a few words. You are required to do it for 10 to 12 answer short question tasks. So here is the user interface or the software that you are going to see when taking this exam. So there are three sections here. Here is the instruction so that you understand what it's talk about, and this is the audio status box and volume control. This is the recording status box that tell you when the microphone open and when it close. So now look at the strategies. Here is the first strategy, which is stay focused. In the 3 seconds before the audio begins for each task, focus on the task so that you are ready to understand the question. The questions are short and you must answer as soon as the microphone opens, so keep your concentration throughout all the tasks. Don't let your mind wander, as there is no time to turn in to what you will hear. Understand the question. Listen for the question word, who, what, when, how, or why, that will help you to understand the question. Do not be afraid that you will not understand or have the specific knowledge needed, or the question are about the topics that every educated person knows. There is one correct answer that is usually one word or a short phrase. Speak clearly. Speak when the blue recording bar appears in the recording status box. There's no tone, so just speak when this blue recording bars appears, and the record and the microphone will close if they are silent for more than 3 seconds. So remember to speak and do not keep silence for more than 3 seconds, otherwise the microphone will close. And if you realize that you have made a mistake, correct yourself, as the score depends on the correct word or words only. So once you have answer, just click next. If you made a mistake, just don't keep silent and click next. There is no back button to have or let you to go back to answer again. So just remember, when you made a mistake, just speak it again. Testing focused. Sub-skill tested. Listening. Okay. Identify the topic, theme, or the main ideas. Understand academic vocabulary, inferring the meaning of unfamiliar words. Speaking for a purpose, to repeat, to inform, or to explain, using words or phrases appropriate to the context, speaking under time conditions. Preparation, to practice giving quick responses to short questions. Work with a friend to write a set of short questions on card on general knowledge that you know well, then exchange cards and ask each other question. Let's say, what satellite of the earth lights the sky at night? Where would you find whales? What part of their body do birds use to fly, etc. Answer with one or a few words only. Expand your vocabulary by developing associative balloons. Take common words, put it in a circle, and then add any words you associated with that word. And use a dictionary or thesaurus. Here is like the synonym of the word, and add that the word into your circle. For example, for medicines, you might put hospital, doctor, nurse, disease, illness, x-ray, health, exercise, bones, veins, surgery, etc. So It's like different type of categories. Let's say home, what's in the home, or let's say university, school, education. So it's like a different type of categories of things. So you just break it down into parts. Practice understanding question forms by writing a series of short statements about the topic you know well, then converting them to all questions. Ask a friend to ask you the question in random order and then you answer them. Practice using question forms across as many tenses as you can. What does, what did, what will, what would, etc. Check the pronunciation of any new words you learn by using a dictionary with the word recorded. Make sure that you know where the stress falls within the word. So practice listening for the stress word in the question you hear. Repeat the question to yourself and then clap on the stress words. Remember that the stress word carries the main meaning in the question. Okay, so just concentrate on the stress word because it carries the main meaning in the question. So here again, in the test, there are 10 to 12 tasks. For each task, you hear a question and speak your answer into a microphone. The wording in the instruction below is as the same as you will see in the actual test. So you will hear the recording files, and before we begin, just have a look at the tip script. You will hear the question. Please give a simple and short answer. Often just one or a few words, that's enough. So the first tip is start your answer as soon as the recording, the status changes to recording. If you wait longer than 3 seconds, you will lose your opportunity to answer, or the recording will move to the next question. Tip number 2. This task type is not individual time. You must click next to move on to the next task. So, after you have given your response, the timer for the speaking section will continue running. So once the microphone closed, click next and move on. Third tip, follow the instruction and only give the short question for a short answer. For example, if the answer is state, then state, stage, the state is called a state. Whatever that contain the word state will be corrected, and will score the same marks. The important words here is state. It doesn't matter you add up a few more words. Tip number 4. Sometimes you can use word in the question to help you answer. For example, the word desk is often used in the answer to form a well-known phrase. Next, the question will usually not include in the words in the question. For example, designer or wedding designer is not the correct answer for this question because it's too general and it's not specific job title. So be specific when you give your response. Tip number 6. Listen carefully to the whole question. For this question, you might pay a check or cash to landlord, but these are ways of paying for some things, not the term used for amount of money you pay. Tip number 7. Listen for the question words. Who, what, how. In this question, what do you call or what do we call tells you the answer of the name of some things, or meal tell you the something that to do with food. So just stay focused on the question word. Next, remember that you will do 10 to 12 tasks of this type, and keep your concentration as you move through to the next questions. Tip number 9. Once the microphone closes, you cannot change your answer if you realize that your first answer is not correct. Just keep speaking and give the correct answer. You have 10 seconds to give your response, but the microphone will close if there is no more than 3 seconds of silence. So if you keep silent for more than 3 seconds, the microphone close and continue to the next one. Last tip, don't pause in the middle of your answer for more than 3 seconds. If you do so, the recording will move to the next question and your answer will be incomplete. Okay, now this is the next task. We are not going to look at this today. So now let's practice by listening to this answer short question type. Here is the file. So now let's begin.
Test 1. Answer short question. Page 23. 1.
Which section of a train timetable will tell you what time your train leaves?
So what do you think the question would be, or the answer would be?
Page 23.
Let's try it again.
1.
Which section of a train timetable will tell you what time your train leaves?
Alright. Go to the next one.
2.
What do we call the list of steps that tell you how to put something together?
List of steps that put things together. Would that be instruction? Okay.
3.
What do we call the meeting where an employer asks a potential employee questions about their work experience?
Employers ask about the employee work experience. Interview, right?
4.
What desk should you go to when you first arrive to stay at a hotel?
What desk would you go to when you arrive at the hotel? Help desk or what?
5.
Next one.
What is the job title of someone who designs buildings?
Job title of someone who design building. Engineer? Let's think about it.
6.
What term is used for the amount of money you pay a landlord for living in their house or apartment?
Can you answer this question? I leave it for you guys, and now let's move on to the next question.
7.
What do we call the first meal of the day?
First meal of the day. That's easy. Breakfast.
8.
What word is used for someone who watches a sports event?
Let me play it again.
What word is used for someone who watches a sports event?
Watch sports then. Next one.
9.
What object would you use to climb up to the roof of the house?
What object used to climb to the roof of the house? Ladder, right? Ladder.
10.
Last one.
If you don't feel like eating, what do we say you don't have?
If you don't feel like you eating,
What do we say you don't have?
what do we say you don't have? So let's recap. Today we talk about the short answer short question. That basically we have 10 to 12 this type of question task, and the strategy here is that don't just pause or stop for more than 3 seconds because the microphone will close. and you are not able to answer that question, so you will lose one. You lose mark for that one. Sorry. And understand the question for the question words such as who, what, when, how, why. Just speak clearly and listen for the main ideas. Speaking for a purpose, preparation. Use short responses to the short questions. Expand your vocabulary. Understand the question forms. Check the pronunciation. Also with the stress word that may carry the main meaning of the question. Alright, so I think we all cover these tasks and not really hard. You just need to expand your academic vocabulary, because it requires you to understand the context of, say, educated person. Of course you guys, and yeah, just keep expand your vocabulary, because if you not sure about what a word you may understand in your own language, but in English perhaps you not sure what to use which word. That's why it's important for you to just keep learning new vocabularies. Okay, so that's basically it today, and ជួបគ្នានៅពេលក្រោយទៀត អរគុណចំពោះការតាមដាន